Yeah, broadly just seems like, yeah, the dark's not something to really fear. Except for, you know, it made weird critters, but then, you know, that happens sometimes. Who hasn't accidentally made some critters along the way? The Tale of Moon Mountain. Oh, there they are. Yeah, I know. I'm going that way, though.
You've arrived. Hark. Your fire is dying.
You're dying.
The last embers will light the final fireplace and send your Potboy home. Can you do what you must? Naturally, you must. It is destined, and you will be loved and forgotten. The soothsayers have spoken the last words. It has been an honor to watch your journey to the work table's edge. Now go and burn.
Seems rude.
Burn.
Guys don't want to, oh, there you go. I love how Potboy just kept ruining my shot there. The Grinner, smile through your heart, smile though your heart is aching. I don't know, that doesn't really look like the face of darkness. I guess from the dream, only 4 collectibles. Not a surprise. Danger will be afoot. Guess not that dangerous. I can just zap them with my power of darkness, maybe? I'm not afraid.
The first two-legged beings did prosper under the first sun, but it didn't matter how much they bathed in its light. They craved more. They sought to cage the sun, harness its power, and make it theirs. But the makers in their foresight had put the sun far, far away. So far that no creature could reach it. That's why, in their desperation, the two-legged ones began to collect matches, lighting them like minuscule suns of their own. But there are only so many matches in this world. And one day they'll run out, and they shall once again look to the sun.
Yup. Had to make sure I chucked that off into the abyss before we continued. Also, I kind of figured with how this was going, we'd probably get into one of these things. I feel like Potboy got over Housey real quick. Interesting to have that kind of like turn to matches before the sun with the, you know, the idea that matches were kind of like stars for the Coal Town adventure we had. I'm not afraid. Well, that's sad. Potboy over there. Bonus? Not really. He looks so withered. He looks like the the, like, sad, dehydrated Voldemort. I guess this is all a bunch of Potboys, right? Not that. For some reason I thought that was a giant Potboy head. Oh, the cold again. I kind of wasn't ready for this mechanic to come back, but we are climbing a mountain. Honestly, it was such a, like, crazy burst of the cold that I thought it was like a light shining on us. Hopefully I didn't miss anything over there. I think we're only missing one thing since we're collecting another one of these.
It's just gone. I had this wretched gut feeling like something was up, like something was on the way, a danger I never could have guessed. I figured that's just how I always feel, and my worries seldom come true. And now here I am, and I have been for some time now, and it just won't come back. I'm thinking, while I had it, I didn't know what to do with it, how to care for it, enjoy it. But if I had it again tonight, I'd probably waste it all over again.
I want to listen to that again. Is that the maker? What do you think, buddy? Give it to me.
It's just gone. I had this wretched gut feeling like something was up, like something was on the way, a danger I never could have guessed. I figured that's just how I always feel, and my worries seldom come true. And now here I am, and I have been for some time now, and it just won't come back. I'm thinking, while I had it, I didn't know what to do with it, how to care for it, enjoy it. But if I had it again tonight...
Dang. Want to throw it through there. I'm still not completely positive. I mean, that looks like the sun shining, so I don't know why we're lighting anything up. Get in there, buddy. I don't know what it is. Would it be like the creative spark? Definitely feels like this is the final push. Potboy, where you going? What? I feel like that was a little unfair. Go! Like, yeah, we were good. I must not have properly pushed it. I don't think I saw my hands come out. think they hide the collectible like on a different path here. I think that's mostly me going backwards that way. He's good. We're good. I kind of almost, like, I definitely missed hitting the right spot there. Okay, we're here, buddy. I'm gonna crouch a little bit. Is this really the final push here? Oh, I guess so. He's zooming. Maybe it just kind of stops at that point. Dog, I don't know if I need to follow you. I don't think it's just, no, I think it's just... He's kind of zooming. That's rad. Kind of surprised I was able to walk so far back. It's a little bit of a cooler look from right here. Here's the last thing too. I think we got everything. Is it gonna be Potboy? Yeah. Potboy, your little spark, your soul, and your heart's will. Your friend always. Yeah, what's going on in that pot? Actually, I didn't even pay attention. I didn't look to see if it actually said I collected all things there. Huh. Kind of curious as to what's going on. Like, that looks like another path almost. Where did Buddy go? He must have went ahead. Well, I'm gonna have a big boss fight in there. I don't wanna. I'm just curious if there's an option, but... Gotta get a little bit more height. Housey's... Oh, Housey's okay. We can use the rest of Housey for kindling. That's nice that Housey's back. I still don't know if I want to, but Oh. Yeah, you know, like all this climatic, like everything's kind of coming to a head, the music's swelling. Stop right here. Look at Potboy. Potboy looks mad that I stopped. Yeah, I kind of already said my piece about it, because it really felt like we were pushing towards this outcome of deciding. I think we can easily see both endings by chapter selecting. I think, especially with, we had that whole monologue about how darkness is kind of cool, actually. I think burning it would be like the equivalent of doing the, like, everything kind of cycles back, someone took the sun away. I feel like we probably would have a better picture of this if we did watch all of the films we collected, since that's what it kind of implies, is it talks about who took the sun, of what that really means. I'm gonna say stopping is what we should do, because I think everything's just gonna kind of, if it's a, like, kind of reverting back to cycling, no one's gonna learn from the mistakes they made in the past, right? That's kind of what we learned. So, awful about the war that happened. Awful about burning a child alive and her family. Awful about the craftsman guy. Was kind of a little bit different. I don't know, like, fully how I would correlate that, but, you know, learning from that is where we, you know, shine a light through the darkness, and that's cool. That's what they told me, so I'm gonna stop. Wait! Yeah, I'm stopping. I like that it takes a minute. Doesn't really seem like he's stopping. Like, did I stop him? I guess if he's in my heart, my heart wasn't in it, right? So yeah, whatever. Also, you basically said, like, it's fine. Look, they were also hanging out with the, whatchamacallit? Mogram. They were able to still reconnect. I feel like if we did burn it, it was gonna be like a supernova effect. And we're kind of seeing how, like, there's a sense of rekindling happening in the darkness. Like, that's basically it. Also, you see, like, how it, like, the stars kind of swirl around that? We got, like, a golden ratio thing going on here. Like, I don't know really what to make of the creatures of the darkness besides what we, broadly know from descriptions that we have. But everyone else generally just seems better off, because they've... I mean, there's not much else you can do to be better off with the, Colestown, because they're dead. They're all dead. What's going on up there? It's like a really crazily designed building. I don't know bonus chapter? Go to the Haunted Mansion? I am glad Housey's not dead, even though I didn't feel much about Housey's death. So I still wonder what the deal is with those spotlight guys. Yo, what up?
Once upon a time, some folk on the other side of this and that
Gonna play his banjo?
had the most strange and beautiful dream. I hope that tonight you caught a glimpse of it. And I wish you the levity and grace to smile in the darkest of times and on the way down your midnight walk.
Good ending, he played his banjo. Yeah, we'll watch the credits now. Main menu's in tight. No, we'll skip it for now, only because we are going to go back to watch the other ending, and then that'll be a good time to kind of go through stuff. Before we do that, let's visit Housey. Like I said, I think we did collect everything. Oh, Housey looks fine on the inside. I could look at trophies to see specifically. But, like, all these are good. Let's, no, that one. Only had to go back in, like, 2 chapters to find everything, so that's cool. I'm surprised we didn't see the Moonbird again. Yeah, we got all these. So, yeah, let's, I feel pretty good about our ending. But we will see that. Let's, figure out who took the sun away. I know we watched this one before, but...
She came back one day from a long while of rock picking under the gnarly trees.
I do feel like watching this after the fact is a lot better, though.
Fall and the refreshing cool of winter, but this time it had been much too long for her taste. Even the sun seemed tired, and she had all the rocks she needed, so she decided to treat herself to a long nap.
Oh, easy. She just blew the sun out because she wanted a long nap. We didn't even need, like, 14 more of these. Also, probably, see, once upon a time, there was a Merkle. That night, the Merkle dreamt many dreams. I wonder if this follows... No, it's kind of weird phrasing at that point. Is this a Merkle dream?
The Merkle dreamt
Yo,
many
check out that moon.
dreams of the mysterious moon and the critters living within its craters, and of the ocean and its deep secrets, known only to the sea creatures and the corals, and of the twinkling stars that had so much to tell, but they were too far away to be heard. All of it intertwined in a colorful tapestry.
I like Napestry. This really correlates too with what the surrounding environment was when we talked to... That was the Merkle, right? I don't even know, like, when we got a model of the Merkle, but I know we have one somewhere. Not those ones. Not, definitely not those ones. Auntie Merkle. The Merkle are sun-loving beings who are afraid of the dark, yet there are several tales of Merkles who dared to seek it out anyway. Kind of seems like Auntie Merkle was like that, right? Oh, look, those are the masks from... I don't remember seeing that one. Well, that's from Colesville. Neat. Okay, we are on 3.
And so she woke with a yawn, so big it could have devoured the sun.
She devoured it?
She had slept for just about a decade. A decent nap by Merkel's standards. She smacked her dry lips, looking forward to what the new dawn had to offer as she left her lair and went out into the cool night. Wait a minute, she exclaimed. Night?
Well, maybe she just needs to wait for morning. I guess she probably did. Probably a very long wait till morning. Complimentary nap.
Where was the sun? Where its warm rays should have been there was only the vast night sky, not a star on its face. Well, the Merkel mumbled softly to herself. Winter was late, so now the sun must be late too. Proud over her sound logic, she went back to her lair to take a complimentary nap.
I like how it's just like no stars on its face and there's stars hanging there. But I guess artificial stars might be actually what they're supposed to be. Like, you know, again, the clay stuff, it could just be visually clay looks cool, but it might have more meaning behind it than that. You know, hanging stars, I don't know. I mean, it seems like I'm kind of far off on the whole furnace analogy with all this, but the mocking night sky.
The Merkel had taken a nap that had lasted 2 decades. Now that counts as oversleeping even by Merkel standards. She had awoken anxiously this time, feeling misplaced and confused. The confusion grew further into panic when she was greeted not by the sun's life-giving caress, but once again by the silently mocking night sky.
You think Auntie Merkel was supposed to be blind? She kind of like doesn't have pupils in the... So that's supposed to be pupils? They're very like dot. Very faint. The Merkel's journey began. Is this where Housey got built?
There was one
Is Housey the pot?
night, and it glowed a cold red. Who took the sun away? The Merkel asked it. But it was too distant, so she could not hear its reply if it had one. The Merkel had never felt so empty and alone. Lost in quiet despair, she managed to open up to the winds and followed their gentle push south down the midnight walk and to the Darklands.
I like how those mountain people have like their little hands up. I wish this would remember the spot I was at last. Journey began, the Soulfisher's advice.
Along the walk, she met the old Soulfisher with...
Oh, he's soul fishing.
She had many a teacup in her days. Is that the Merkel I see? Another decade, another teacup, eh? He chuckled, but the Merkel sure wasn't in the mood to discuss teacups. Who took the sun away, Soulfisher? Surely it wasn't caught by your hook? After pondering for a good minute, the Soulfisher answered, well, there have been whispers among the fish and corals about a loathsome, hungry Mulgrim roaming the swamps. Perhaps it knows. By the time the Soulfisher looked up from under his big hat, the Merkel had already continued down the road.
I like how even though no one else had like a long sleep, they still don't know what happened. And they're just kind of going about, oh, nope, I would like to not do that. I think fully there's a easy way to not do that. Soulfisher's advice, who took the sun away? Conversation with Mulgrims. Well, this is before the war.
After a long while of following oversized snail-like tracks in the mud, trudging deeper and deeper into the mushroom-ridden swamps, The Muggle heard a harrowing howl.
There's the Mulgrim,
Upon
way
a
up there.
hill stood a looming figure, dark and still in the quiet of the night. Lo and behold, the Mulgrim. She thought to herself in slack-jawed awe. She greeted the creature with a quivering voice and, unable to restrain herself, asked, "Do you know who took the sun away?"
No reply. Listen, I'm just too focused on these guys. Look at them. I like that back swipe noise. A conversation with Mulgrims, the cave. Ah!
Talking to monsters had never been any Merkel's forte, but this meeting proved spectacularly disastrous. Barely escaping the gnashing teeth of the Mulgrim, she managed to escape by jumping into a lake, following its stream away from the swamps. Although the Mulgrim was far behind her, she could still hear its melancholy howl. Mad with grief, she mumbled, "As I will be, unless I find the sun again." Tired from running, she searched for shelter and found a dark, dank cave. Cozy, even by Merkel's standards.
I was hoping for like a quicker way to get to the back end since we kind of already had most of this. The Crawler's dinner party.
The wind blew cold in the cave, its whispers strangely soothing to the Merkel. As it turned out, the whispering belonged to a pack of starving crawlers who had begun circling her, their language known only to the dark itself. "What are you searching for, little limb tree?" They sounded in guttural unison.
Didn't even realize they could talk.
"These are dark days, and your kind does not belong anymore." The Mogul gathered her courage. "I am looking for the sun. I know you crawlers eat fire for dinner. Did you eat it?" They sniffed her lantern hungrily, and instinctively, she offered its flame to them.
Okay, end of that conversation. Can the Grinners talk too? Far away from home. That's why she built Homie! Housey!
The crawlers cackled like mad.
How'd she end up by the head guys?
"Keep your fire clailing. Take it to the dark itself. Mayhaps there you shall find answers." Before the poor little Merkel could shriek, the crawlers had gone with the wind. Knowing not where to find the dark itself, everything looked pretty dark to her. The Merkel found her way back on the road, further away from home than she had ever been. The hills were looking stranger by the hour. The rocks upon them seemed to move. They were the head people, a peaceful yet grumpy sort who didn't take kindly to somebody's perusing their lands. They muttered at her as she passed them, but she couldn't make out their words. "What's that, little headlings? Are you saying you know who took the sun away?" But the heads only grunted and rolled away, back to the safety of their huts.
We have like half of this story is being told around Nobody'sville. Nobodyville, because they don't have bodies, not Nobody'sville. Just circling around that drain. 12, the dance.
The road went on, and the shadows grew all around.
Yeah, this is still around that location.
The dark itself? Not sure whether she was alone, she asked out loud, "Does anyone out here know who took the sun away?" By the side of the road lay 3 peculiar faceless and person-sized dolls wrapped in muddy bandages. A stone's throw away lay some strange masks. The Mogul followed her instincts and put the masks back on. And the dolls did come to life. They began to dance a haunting dance around her. And before she knew it, she was dancing too. When it was all over, their masks fell off and they went back to lifelessness. The Merkle silently thanked the dolls for the dance and went on her way, deeper into absolute darkness.
I'm kind of upset because I thought that she was going to have like more of an adventure through the other lands, but she's just really hanging out by the Nobodyville location. The dark itself is pretty cool though.
Before she knew it, the little Merkle, lost and tired, came to stand before the dark itself with a burning question clenched in her fist. She felt like punching the dark with it.
Gotta kick at the darkness till it bleeds daylight.
Laughing it out like the starving crawlers who had nothing left to eat but the hope of others. Who took the sun away? It then asked the Merkle. Its voice sounded like a dark forest, deep and ancient. It wasn't you, the Merkle retorted. You're its complete opposite. Surely you must be the reason it's gone. The dark then replied, I am but the absence of light, not its adversary. Light is because I am. How could I possibly hold it in my possession? The Merkle felt her anger fade. She understood little besides one thing, that the darkness was not behind the missing sun, nor her suffering.
But then who did it? And yeah, again, darkness is not bad. Duality with that makes perfect sense. Up the sweep. The swoop. The end. The journey back home is where we're at, right?
Had her journey been
Look how friendly darkness looks.
Would she ever feel the rays of the sun again? Bask in their glory, pick rocks on a cloudy summer's day? The Merkle was alone in her questions, but then again she wasn't. The dark held her in a blanket of nothingness that was cold and warm at the same time. So she sniffed, what do I do now? To which the dark itself replied, you don't have to do anything. She took an hour's nap then and there, the blink of an eye by Merkle standards, and then she began the journey back home, which seemed much shorter now than it had before.
So, my question, I guess, then is why... Oh, God damn it. The duality part would still imply we would still need that light, right? Do we learn anything from this?
Back home on her hill, memories of the Merkle's many encounters along the way came circling back into her mind. None of her new acquaintances had been able to answer her burning question, but they hadn't been a waste of time either. She knew not if the sun would return tomorrow, in another decade, century, or never. She knew now, however, that she didn't need to know. She had the dark, and in it, anything seemed possible. So busy with her search for answers, ever since she'd left home, she'd completely forgotten to look up. The stars twinkled in the night sky, and there were so many, and they kept her good company. If only a little rock-picking Merkle could know that the seemingly tiny stars were in fact thousands upon thousands of suns. The end.
Alright. I guess that's the point. Well, at that point, it's fine, because the stars are suns, so light still exists in the darkness. And then maybe I just misunderstood the part that said that there was, like, no stars on the tapestry or whatever. But that's cool. I think I'm gonna have to play through the... I wonder if I can just resume, if that would bring me to It is a shame that the, oh, perfect. The story of that didn't kind of go through the other locations. I think that would have been kind of nice. But, you know, we still kind of got to the end point. So, does this moon have a face on it? I guess it's not like a real moon. It's just Moon Mountain. But yeah, so I do kind of wonder what the idea of... Maybe I'm wrong about the reset part about all this. But we'll see when this ending plays out. Because, like, you know... sticking with everything being as it is and just kind of moving past it with the people you've met and all that. That's fine. That works out. That's good. But I guess at that point, the question would be, why would this be bad? And, like, if it's what I think it is, and, like, of course that kind of seems bad. I kind of talked about that. But then, like, I guess why it ends up being that way would be the question. Good thing Housey's coming to save the day. I do kind of like, actually, the, like, keep going. The music build up and then just deciding, you know what? Nah, not gonna do it. Because this is, like, very epic and it almost made me want to, like, keep going. Based on what we saw too, I'm assuming this is gonna kill Potboy. Sorry, buddy. Just know that canonically I chose the other ending. Well, now we know why I'm the burnt one. Yeah, he hates it. I mean, honestly, it doesn't really seem like it's doing anything too bad. It honestly seems like it just doesn't really matter in the end. Although the creatures created by darkness or from darkness seemed like they weren't having a good time. Question is, does he still play his banjo?
Once upon a time, some folk on the other side of this and that had the most strange and beautiful dream. I hope that tonight you caught a glimpse of it, and I wish you the levity and grace to smile in the darkest of times and on the way down your midnight walk.
Still plays the banjo. That means both endings are good endings. Honestly, I think that makes the most sense as far as, like, if we talk about that duality thing, it doesn't really matter if it's dark or light. Things just kind of go on and they continue. And in a way, that's, like, way more beautiful than trying to do some kind of cycle thing like I thought was happening. That was me overthinking things. I like the game a lot. I think the stealth elements were kind of whatever. And, like, obviously, the sound stuff I wasn't really a fan of, but that was also me not really doing it the way it was meant to be done. I didn't do headphones. I didn't have the setup that was, like, intended for that, so that's not really a big deal. I think the puzzles were neat. Obviously, the visuals, environment, the music, all of that is great. I love the little stories, the little vignettes that were told. Obviously, I misinterpreted or misunderstood some aspects of this, but overall, I think the messaging was nice. I like the game a lot. I think it's neat. I think, like, I would call this very much, like, light horror. Like, I don't think any of the stealth areas were really that scary. Which I don't think they really needed to be. I do think there's kind of some, I don't know, like the bit where you close your eyes to make the monster disappear, I feel like really deflates any type of fear to that, because it's a very easy and quick way to solve it. In that way, like the thief ghost girl being the shrouded ghost kind of felt like it didn't really have much of a presence besides that one chase in the mines. Because then it's like, you know, going into the woods to try to find the key, doing the catacombs, it was kind of like, whatever, it's in front of me, close my eyes, keep moving forward. I do think it kind of worked out neatly for the statue puzzles in the craftsman. He wasn't called the craftsman, right? I think it was a different name. The chapter with the big guy that made things. Like Headmaster 2. I don't think he had a voice. I'm kind of trying to look at the credits for that. The Last Somebody. That would have been the body probably that we talked to, right? Who was Lady of the Woods? Was that the mermaids? I'm sorry, I'm just like kind of enjoying looking at these names. The girl with the matches / the thief. The daughters would have been in the craftsman town. But yeah, it was a really beautiful game. I do think it probably would have been neat to look at it through VR, but I already mentioned that VR just seems like not... You know, if I had a choice between a Switch 2 and a Sony PlayStation VR headset, guess which one I'm gonna choose? That's right, the one that can play Bravely Default Remastered. Music was top notch. I feel like I've already kind of said everything I had to say about this. And I could speed up the credits, but I want to kind of let it fizzle through. Not fizzle. Fizzle's a little bit of a weird thing to say. Not correct. Play out. It's just all I really wanted to say there. I wonder why Grant is specifically credited like that compared to the other songs. With all those play testers, I did run into some like minor issues. I still didn't actually. Mainly it was just the that one bit where I was stuck on invisible walls and those matchboxes. Or the snoring off his dog. It's sad that the Moonhood pets that 2 out of 3 of them are in loving memory of. I don't think I really had any other problems. I'm not really sure if the rain that I thought was an issue was actually an issue or just me being confused about the sound of rain. Because I'm a little dense sometimes. I think, like I mentioned, I really like stories like this where you're just kind of going on a journey and you happen into little vignettes of stories. And part of that I love is just kind of the idea of there always being more. So I'm always, I wish there was more. And I guess in the end, I kind of appreciate the continuing Midnight Darkness ending more, because it's like we continue walking the Midnight Walk. And like, I guess it does feel like it's the better ending just because it seems like everyone kind of continues on. Like, the Grinners and the Crawlers, I don't really have any sympathy for, I guess, in terms of like, man, I'm upset that I made them mad at the sun coming out. But, and then like with the story that we listened to at the end there, the who took the sun away and that not mattering, it was kind of brought up that there's already kind of a sense of that, like, everything being okay because the stars are out, and in that sense there's still light shining through the darkness together with the darkness. Darkness is the absence of light, and light makes, it all connects. It's all yin and yang and all kinds of wacky stuff there. So in that regard, I would assume that lighting the sun would be the ending where we go a little too hard in one direction instead of letting nature run its course in that regard. Because blanking on the name, there was like a lot of M names. It's like Elden Ring all over again. Everything has an M or an R or a G. The auntie said, like, it doesn't matter how long it takes, if it ever comes back even at all. Everything's kind of just fine. I guess also, it's, yeah, like I said, continuing the journey. It's, if the music stopped, I guess I'll kind of speed it up. Oh, we were pretty close to the end. Thank you for playing! See you down the Midnight Walk! Not if I make the sun blast. Well, like I said, I kind of like that both endings aren't really that different. Because it's just kind of like, things just keep on keeping on. But yeah, the game was really cool, very charming. I enjoyed it a lot. And look, Potboy also enjoyed it. I guess there's not much else to do, but keep on walking that midnight walk.